Okay, good morning, everyone.
In a galaxy far, far away, you shot me down like a Death Star, looking for love in all the wrong places. You're not the droid I'm looking for, but you're the girl. You're not a clone at all, you're one of a kind, yeah. But you're the girl. Not a clone at all, you're one of a kind, yeah. I said, don't go to the dark side. Don't go to the dark side. No, don't go to the dark side. You'll bring balance to the force of my. Don't go to the dark side. Don't go to the dark side. No, don't go to the dark side. You bring balance to the force of my heart. Without you, I've been riding solo. Said I never believed I could land a girl like you. Together we can rule the galaxy. From the oceans of Naboo to the suns in Tatooine. Because you're a girl. You're not a clone at all, you're one of a kind. Because you're the girl. You're not a clone at all, you're one of a kind. Don't go to the dark side. Don't go to the dark side. Don't go to the dark side. You'll bring balance to the force of my. Don't go to the dark side. Don't go to the dark side. I said don't go to the dark side. You'll bring balance to the force of my heart. Yeah. Hey, 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 hey. Oh. Night when you save me. It doesn't matter light or dark as long as it's with you, baby. 'Cause you change me. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, oh, oh.
Okay, my friends, here we are, and I am ready to go if you are. This is Kisma with Visionary Artist Path.com is my website, so I do hope that you will take a peek and maybe join me for some of my live classes that are on Zoom where we do a project from start to finish. Okay, so I just shared with you an important song to me called Dark Side, and I wrote about it in the chat, so I hope you have a chance to look at that. And I'm feeling emotional today, so we're going to the dark side. And the reason why I'm feeling emotional today is because my son, and I'm so happy for him, but he's moving away. He's leaving home. Yep, the fledgling is flying away from the nest. So it's a weird emotional time. And this weird emotional time is bringing up a strange array of feelings from deep sorrow to deep sorrow to happiness, to being proud of him for doing this, a sense of loss already, just incredible sadness and sorrow. So we're going to look at dark emotions that we have, because I'm filled with sorrow. I cry at the drop of a dime right now. He leaves on Friday, so the last day I get to spend with him is Thursday, and then he goes to his girlfriend's house, and the next morning, Friday of this week, they drive to Arizona where they begin the new chapter of their life. So what I've done here during the song is, you saw me setting out these items here, and I just want to express what they mean to me, because they're all contributing to this piece of art that we're going to do. And we'll only be able to do the foundation today, and then on Thursday we'll finish it up. But this is a good process to do when you're feeling dark emotions. Dark emotions are anything, right? And they really get to us. And yeah. Okay, so this is a whalebone crystal skull that my son chose when he was like 8 years old, 9 years old. All through grade school, he wore this rose quartz crystal skull because we're a pagan household, and we live in Newport Beach, which is very Christian, very right-wing environment. And so a lot of the kids in his age group found his belief system and outlook on life to be very threatening and scary to their upbringing, let's just say that. I also, when he was a child, had a company called Fairy Dance Tours and took small groups of people on sacred pilgrimage to Ireland, because my background has to do with the fairy faith of Ireland. And so there's lots of wonderful stories. But a lot of these items right here are stones that we worked with in our pouches and on the land at the different stone circles. And each of us, my husband, myself, and Tristan, each had the same item in our pouch. And then and so did the pilgrims. Of course, we gave them a lot of different items on sacred pilgrimage. And we would take out certain stones and place them at the different sites and let them soak up the energy of that particular vortex and portal. So these all came out. And then just some of these precious little items. These are from Sedona, and this one is from Ireland too. Our last trip to Ireland. This heart was from Sedona. We got at the heart chakra vortex there, and then this little owl, this little carnelian owl, was from one of the last trips to Ireland also. The Buddha, sandalwood Buddha beads he wore towards his entry into middle school, etc. And then, of course, he went off into his own punk days and became the serious drummer that you just heard. Dark feelings are inside of me, so I'm going to take I'm going to take those dark feelings and I'm going to write about create them, turn them into a painting. So I have a few mediums here that I think I'm going to work with. I'm working with oil pastels, oil pastel crayons here. And then I'm working with soft pastel chalks here. I don't know if I'm going to be working with this, but distress crayons. We'll see. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not really sure. I just pulled these all out. But I'm going to start with the crayons. And I'm going to choose, let me move it like this so I've got access to all of these. I'm going to choose the colors that really are speaking to me. And I'm going to start off with this color because I'm so filled with sorrow. And at the same time, I'm filled with anger. And so this is like a sorrowful anger that I'm feeling. And yet I am so proud and happy for his growth. Because I want his life to be successful. I want him to be happy, of course. And then I get trapped into the deep love I feel for him, of course, and my need to protect him. My great desire to be in his life, to be included, my need to be included, my fear, there's fear here. And the fear is that I'll be forgotten, which a parent is never forgotten, but that is a fear, to be forgotten. And I want to be remembered. I want to be held in his heart and in his mind. And I'm envious that he's just picking up and moving away to another state. Yeah, sure, I have some anxiety here. Anxiety that I'm going to be 8 hours away from him. I'm not going to be able to just be there for him. I can't just pick him up and, so all of that emotion takes me into the real darkness of my heart. I'm surrendering to that darkness. I'm surrendering to how I'm feeling because I'm not happy. Ultimately, I'm not happy. I have tears, just tears and sorrow. Regrets. We have regrets, right? Things we said, things we didn't say, although we're pretty communicative. Behaviors, silly behaviors. So I'm putting all of that into this. Again, I'm coming back to that anger. Okay, and then I think I do want to bring in some softness, though, because I think that, our family core is so tight and so beautiful. and that's held us together longer. We've raised a beautiful son who, at the age of 25, doesn't think anything to hug us or to spend time with us or to eat dinner with us or to play games with us on Friday night. You know, he's very demonstrative still. He maybe doesn't see my side to everything, and mom gets blamed for all the wrong in the family. But now that he has a girl, he's very protective of her and very against mom. That's that is that separation that a son must do from his mom. And I understand and I get that. I understand and I get that. Okay. At this point, I think I would like to bring in some paint. And I'm going to work with a knife today. And I want to say that I actually first experienced this technique by a woman named Cassie Martin. You know, we artists who teach online and do workshops and classes, we riffed off of each other, right? We were there to inspire, just like the great masters who all would congregate together out in the countryside, in France, at the wild parties. You know, they all riffed off of each other. That's what we do. It's inspiration and that sense of being another artist's muse is, in my mind, a great thing. So I just wanted to acknowledge her. But I think I'm going to start off with red. My son's in Aries. I have Mars in Aries, right on my 7th house cusp. And I think this really says a lot about our energy, the energy he and I share. And I think I'm also going to bring in some turquoise or teal color because I really feel that energy so much of the time. I'm a water sign and I battle with it over my active imagination and energy. So I'm just gonna bring this in and let the expression of how I'm feeling come out on the page. This really feels good to me, and I'm letting it be thick. I don't want to spread it evenly. I want it to be thick. It's like I just want to make it be a representative of all those emotions that come up inside of us. And believe it or not, doing this starts to ease my own heart and make me feel not so sad and filled with sorrow because I'm getting it out, you know? I'm getting it out. And I think that's a great thing. Now into all of this, yeah, I like the way that feels. Into all of this, I am going to put glitter. Yeah, I'm going to put glitter because I think that there's a silver lining, right? There's always a silver lining. I was going to use this red, but I think I'm going to change color now. I'm bringing this purple because, you know, red and blue do make purple. Oh, I haven't even used this, or I did, but left this on. So I'm going to glitter this. And I'm going to just let the glitter come in. The glitter is the light coming into the darkness, right? Begins to help us to see things that are hidden. And I'm not worried about bringing it on thick. Yeah, I'm not worried about any of this. Oof. I'm telling myself to breathe, breathe, Kisma, breathe. Breathe and feel. Okay to feel sorrow, but breathe it out. Don't hold on to it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I can't do the next layer on it. I can't transform this into something else. I'm going to have to let this completely dry. And just so you know, if you're interested, in case you're interested, my base is just watercolor, and it's 13 by 18, but it's 140 pound. I like to use heavy watercolor paper, so there you have it. So we're going to set this aside, and all these items I'm going to actually move aside too. I'm going to just put them all over here. Let this dry, and we'll come back to it on Thursday. If I'm here, now I'm going to be honest, this coming Thursday, I may not be here because it is the last day with my son before he moves away. And so if I'm not going to be here, though, I'll have a message in the schedule so that you know. And then I'll finish it up the next Monday. Whew, okay. Station identification again while we change gears. Our art is very personal to us, isn't it? And I am Kisma with Visionary Artist Path. My website is .com, and that's where you can find me. And now I want to talk to you about daily practice, having a daily practice. If you are an artist, just give me a moment. I'm going to get something. Okay, so for a couple years, I have believed in having a daily practice. And what I mean by that is that we create what I call our, this is from my Artist Way program, by the way. What's called a daily doodle journal. And so it's at some point every day finding about 5 to 6 minutes of your time, putting on a piece of music that truly inspires you, and then doodling. In this particular doodle journal, it was part of a course, and so we worked with a weekly symbol. But daily doodles help us to begin to explore, and for a few minutes, just for the length of a song, 5 to 6 minute song, you create. And these become inspiration for actual projects or canvas pages, and working with different techniques and just expressing yourself. Sometimes going ahead and creating an entire miniature painting in your daily doodle, trying to draw things that maybe are hard for you, like this chicken, sketching out things I was working with a hand to see how well I could paint a hand. And you can see I am lousy at hands. Here's an emotion. See me, I'm here, you know, and this was just a metacognitive drawing, but really allowing yourself to explore and also work with mediums. Here again is just some sketching. This is called negative painting. But each day, really allowing yourself to express. You know, this is when I developed my Wordology YouTube video. I've been working with it. Mandalas. This is all Daily Doodle. Oh, this is, if you recognize her, this is from the, this is from Starbucks, right? The Starbucks. See? Right there. I took her and I drew that. Looks pretty, and then I made her into a girl. That was fun. This is based on a statue of mine. See my little statue? So sometimes it's just working with things. Choosing objects. When you have a daily, here again is another negative painting, but when you have stuff like this, what you begin to do is explore. Oh, here is where I taught children how to make two birds with the numbers 22. That's pretty fun. But you know, journals are an artist's diary. And we don't always have to design things that are for other people. Sometimes we can design things that are just for us, that express us, where we're working and trying to figure out how the best way is to do eyes or nose or mouths. Right? Here's a blind drawing of my face. And my artist logo. So this was a journey that was important. I've got a lot of these I can show you, but I wanted to show you this one because it was a comprehensive start to finish one. And then the other one I wanted to show you is the one that I'm doing now. And I'm doing it in a very simple mixed media pad that I picked up at Hobby Loot or Lobby or something like that. You're familiar with that. But this is my morning meditation. I put on a piece of music. I usually select a song based on time. I don't even look at the title. I choose from my Spotify playlists, which are open to the public. You just go to Kisma Riedling and you'll see all my Spotifys. I am an artist, Goddess Music, Soul Sisters. Those are the main ones I choose from. I put on the music and then I just start doodling. And when the music ends, I push the off button and then I just write whatever comes out. And then on the back side, I date it. And so this has been for the month of September. This is what I've been doing for the month of September. But it's really important, the messages that come out. And I paint or I doodle to the music. So I put my pen down or my paintbrush down, and I wait, and then I begin once the music begins. And I surrender, I let go. I don't think about it. I don't intentionally try to create anything. I just doodle. Okay? And I let whatever comes out, comes out. And I think these are pretty interesting. You know, they are the ink blots of our soul. They're the ink blots of our soul. And I really want to stress to you that as an artist, having some type of practice like this is important, you know. Yeah. This one's just tears. Sorrow can allow us to smile. We are always there. So also when I finish this month, next month, I'm going back to the beginning, and I'm gonna watercolor over these ink blots. Yeah, so there you have it. 2 things to do. Use an art journal or a pad like that, a mixed media pad or a watercolor pad, to really begin to work and delve into the deep recesses of who you are. You don't always want to do that on the canvas. Canvases can be very expensive, and you want to allow for personal. And plus, let's face it, when we paint on a canvas, we're painting for other people. We really are. We're painting with the idea and understanding that hopefully at some point in time, another person is going to see and witness our canvas. Okay, now last week on Monday and Thursday, I began working with the affirmation cards, and this is a long ongoing project. So I did this one. I decided I wanted my earth to be based on stones, the stones that we find at the ancient megalithic sites in Ireland. And this book is wonderful because here's like a photograph, and then there's a drawing of it. But the cool thing about this book is that it really has nice drawings that you can work off of. And so what I did for each of my earth cards, I have 5 earth cards. What I did was I would just close my eyes and I would ask which one, and then I would just open. And this is actually the last one I did. And then I would pencil, and then I would go over it with a Sharpie or a micro pen. Okay. And then I painted with acrylic on top. And these are the acrylic paints that I use for these cards. Now, these aren't done, because what I'm going to do next is I'm going to do a bit of a glaze on top of it, which a lot of people freak out with the glaze. They feel it ruins it. But I am going to finish off today doing a glaze over all 5 of these. And then on Thursday, we'll come back in. If I'm here Thursday, again, if I'm here this Thursday, I may not be here this Thursday. Then I will add the finishing touch. Now, I want to show you what these affirmation cards are based on. I think I'm just going to unhook my camera today. Okay. So I am doing a new program on the Visionary Artist Path, and it's going to be involving The first one is a 4-week introduction into intentional creativity. And I'm going to be teaching a technique while I teach you intentional creativity. That's going to be, let me get these up here. I should have had this all planned out. But that's going to be working on this style of my paintings. In the 4 classes, you'll end up making something that will be similar to one of these. These are on a watercolor paper. So if a person is really industrious, they can actually create one a week. And I'll show you, there's some of my paintings. This is a 13-step process in intentional creativity that I'll be sharing in a 1-day workshop in my new visionary artist path. And then I have a 4-month program in which you'll be painting 4 different pictures: maiden, mother, medicine woman, and wise one. I just got my wise one done last night. So those are the processes that we'll be doing in my new program. Okay, I'm going to put this back up. Hopefully I don't disconnect. If I do, I'll be right back. I think I made it. Okay, so what I'm going to do, like I said, is I am going to create a glaze. This is the next step in this process. All right. When I do glazing, it's pretty, I water it down, but I work with a very transparent acrylic. And I'm going to do only one at a time. I'm going to put my wax paper down on the ground for drying purposes. And I work with a lot of water. Got my spray bottle here. And a big brush. I'm actually going to use a big brush like this. Now, hopefully nothing's going to smear too badly. And if it does, that's part of the learning process, and we'll just have to figure out how to fix that. There are some schools of thought that say never water down your acrylic. Well, those are kind of old school thinkings. And I'm going to invite you to experiment with glaze, because the only way you can do glaze is by watering down your acrylic. Now what a glaze does is it brings all the colors together, and yes, it's going to change our background, but here we go. I'm just going to do one swipe. Let me get this. And then I'm going to just wipe it off. And what it does is it takes all the colors and it makes it a little more uniform, and it puts it all in the background. This is now a proper background. This is not the focal point, so you can see what starts to happen here. Okay? It's a background. Okay. And here's the last one to glaze. Okay. So you can see it changed them, but it's not a significant change, but it makes them more uniform, and it actually brings out the subtleties of the drawing of the stones. So I'll let those dry. And then I will begin to do the final layering on those. All right. I've got all this. So what I'm going to do is take an art journal page. I'm going to pour it on it. I like to begin building backgrounds on everything. That's one of the secrets of being a mixed media artist, right? Our backgrounds and our paintings have layers upon layers. And I'm going to let you in on something. It's not just the backgrounds in mixed media that have layers upon layers upon layers. It's the entire painting. From the first layer that is considered a background all the way up. Okay, let me let this off to dry before I close that book. Wow, today we're like doing an assortment. Okay, give me a sec. All right. Look at this. How cool is this, right? I love them. I wash these. These get washed, but they just, you know, they're my glazing towel. So they get pretty changed. Okie dokie. Coming back. Now we're ready to move into our next affirmation card. And these are the yellows. So this is air. And the air I'm feeling as if it really needs to represent that sparkling shimmer. So I think I'll probably end up working a lot with glitter on this level. I had thought about feathers. Let me grab something. I had thought about working with something like look at that shimmery, isn't that cool? Anyway, streaks of light, but feathers. And making the background be that. Oh, isn't that beautiful? So I'm thinking I need to draw these. So let me just pick one. So I'm thinking Let me draw in chalk first. So if I were to use this, right? I don't want angel wings. These are swan wings, by the way. Swan wings with, I'm doing this with a chalk pencil because I can wash it off if I don't like the way it looks. You might not be able to see it. I'm doing a spine here, and I don't care that it's, and that would be a solid white, because see how that's a solid white. And then it would just be lines. I wouldn't want it to completely take away from the background. Let's see, it would just be lines coming out. And oh, my hair, I'm sorry, I'm getting my head in the top of this. Okay. You probably can't see that, but that could be a very cool background. And then put glitter all in through here. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm taking my affirmation cards and I'm making each of the elements kind of uniform. I'm giving them each I'm gonna get rid of this. Okay, so what you're doing is you're witnessing my thought process when I work. Except the only difference is when I'm working privately, I'm not talking out. But this is my mind. I'm gonna get close here, so if you see my head, I'm sorry. Oopsie. I'll make these closer together, see that? Like that. do the rest with paint. Yeah, I'll do the rest with paint. Now I have, what is it? I have these. These are just titanium white. So I'll do the middle pillar with titanium white, okay? Now once this dries, I'll go over it again because what it's picked up is the distress ink underneath. So I'll let it dry and then I'll just go over it again. See, when I go over it with the second coat, it comes through white. But again, even now, it can still continue to be white. I mean yellowish white. Okay. And then where's my paper towel? I can't find it. See how much yellow came off of my brush? Now these are that's a blue. I don't want blue. This has a shimmer in it to begin with. So let's try it and see how well it works. Let me get a liner brush. Where are all my liner brushes? Oh, I know where they're at. Just a sec. Okay, this one I used on that painting I finished last night, and I definitely don't want any color. Okay, that looks good. Whoopsie. I'm a mess. God, my hair keeps getting in the way today. I'm sorry about that. So today in the studio, you've seen how I jump from one project to the next project to the next project some days. Other days I just work on one project. It really depends on what's going on inside of me. If I have deep emotion that I have to get rid of to continue forward with my, what I consider to be my project creativity, I do something like what I shared with you for Dark Side, and allow my emotion to be cleansed, not cleansed, but to be released. I'm a crier, so I cry a lot when I'm hurt, but then I don't cry for a long, long time. So the fact that every day now I have been crying deeply affects me and drains me. So as a consequence, I've been sleeping a lot, long hours, and I don't think that's serving me, because then I get behind in other things. And I've been taking afternoon naps, which I'm not a napper, so I'm really going through a metamorphosis or a transformation. And that's very significant to me. Okay, so you can, whoops, where's that picture? So what I want to bring in, and I'll bring it in as the last layer, will be all of the sparkly drops, the drops here. I'll let this all dry and see all these little fine lines here on the paint, on the drawing, the photograph, I should say. This is an actual close-up photograph of a swan's wing, but you see all these little lines. I will draw those in with a real fine tip micro pen. I won't paint them in because I'm not a real great tiny liner person. So I'll get all that detail in. I will go over again some of these with a fine tip pen. I might add some more lines in here. I'm going to let it all dry before I make that decision, because remember, one of the layers will contain 1 or 2 or 3 dolls on each one in an affirmation, and I'm not sure how busy I want this background to be at this point, and I might even come in with some white. But most importantly, because the distressed ink background pigment is being pulled up, I'm going to let all of this dry, and then I'm going to go over it again with my titanium white to get a really bold white streak down the center. And then I will go over the feathery parts again with my iridescent, where'd it go? Where did I put it? Yeah, here it is. My pearl white acrylic paint. This is by Amsterdam. All of these paints are by Amsterdam, in case you were wondering. And then I will take my other yellow, and I will do feathers on them. And my feathers might be a little more feather-like, I don't know. I definitely know I want to do something like this along one side. So one of these will just have this is like a fledgling down feather from what are they called? Goslings? No, that's a goose. I don't know. I'll find out what the name for a baby swan is. And then I might want to do something like this where it's a layered feather. And then I might just do a feather. So these are going to be swan feathers, so I know that for a fact. So it'll be different swan feathers. And I will do all of those and paint those before our next time together when we work on the affirmation cards. So I'm going to let these dry. And with that said, I do believe we have come to the end of today's time together. Again, please remember that I am not sure that I will be here on Thursday because it's my last day with my son before he moves away, and it will be a very sad day, and you may not want to even tune in to me because I will probably be tears galore. But please, I have some classes getting ready to start in October. I have a one-day workshop that'll be happening. Tea with the Muse. I would like you to join me for that. I have prices for my classes, but I'm going to tell you something. I give scholarships, so please don't let money detour you. I know us artists can sometimes be poor, but I think that when we really want something and we want to learn something bad enough, we come up with that money or some type of an offering. So remember, it's all an energy exchange. But go to my website, visionaryartistpath.com. Check out some of my formal classes. They're all on Zoom. They're all live. You get to see my face. Boop, boop, boop. Not just my hands like on Twitch. And we are in an environment that's really teaching, and I'm there assisting you also in your creativity. All right, my friends, have a great rest of your Monday. Have a great week. If I don't see you on Thursday, and a great weekend, and then we pick up where we left off. Until then, take care and happy creating. Okay, now I gotta find out where this is. There we go. Bye for now. Bye.